Hi, good evening from London, England. Or is it good morning to you, or is it good afternoon to you from London, England again? This is your host, this is your guy, DLG Reppin. Reppin spelled Romeo, Echo, Papa, Indigo, November. Yes, my subscribers, shout out to you all. Another 941 subscribers, and yeah, I can do some big streaming. All I need you to do is show the love and support and subscribe to this channel. Anything that I've spoken about earlier, just based on Arsenal's review against Mulder, yeah, feel free to comment. Feel free to smash the thumbs up like button and hit the subscribe button left, right, and centre. Galore. Right. So, got a couple of football contexts here, and from my reading of the Sun, the Merseyside seems to be a killing for Manchester United managers. I'm going to get into that a little bit more. And Southampton could go top of the Premier League tonight with a win against Newcastle United. I'm going to check the score right now. I know the last time I checked it was currently 0-0. So we're going to have a pipe. So just bear with me before I get into the context. I know you'll be waiting for the context right now all over the world. Come on. Can't be in tables, obviously, fixtures. Premier League. And it's half time. Southampton 1, Newcastle United 0. Che Adams with the goal. So I think Southampton might need another 1 or 2 more goals and they'll go top of the league tonight. Wow, Southampton are making, they've made loads of progress since the Barcall 9-0 thrashing of Leicester City. So it just shows you how strong they're getting. So it's 1-0 to Southampton at half time. Second half to go. Right, let's get into the football context. First, I'm going to talk about the game tomorrow involving Manchester United's away game against Everton. Now, this is a big pressure game. And this is written by Neil Curtis. Yes, you guessed it. I'm reading it from The Sun. I'm going to read a little bit here. The omens for a trip to Merseyside have not been good for Manchester United managers of late. Yes, which is true. I'm going to read a bit more. David Moyes literally had the Grim Reaper on his shoulder at Goodison Park when he took charge of his last game on Sunday, April 20th, 2014. Paddy Power's fancy dress figure by the away dugout was the picture that went with the following day's reports of a 2-0 defeat at his old stomping ground. And the official news arrived on Tuesday morning that he was gone after 10 months. Next up, Louis van Gaal. And across Stanley Park at Anfield, a 2-0 Europa League defeat by Liverpool on March 10, 2016 convinced the United board a change had to be made at the end of the season. Yes, they won the FA Cup, and even if they had attained a top 4 finish as well, LVG's fate was already decided on the back of that result. Jose Mourinho's final act as the United boss was to oversee a 3-1 defeat again at Anfield on December 16, 2018, just 7 months after the club had finished second and reached another FA Cup final. And now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer heads to Goodison Park tomorrow with his future on the line in a week when the world has been obsessed with polling. It is not the results from Pennsylvania and Florida that will concern the Norwegian. Well, getting a result against Everton, it's vital for him to keep his job. that'll be massive breathing space if he gets the 3 points. But the way United have been performing of late, the last 2 games will suggest otherwise. And Everton have lost the last 2 games as well. So something will give. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you that for free. Something will give. If it goes in the opposite direction to where Ollie has made plans to get the win, and if it doesn't come to plan and they drop all 3 points against Everton, I think we'll see the last of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the famous Manchester United dugout. I'm going to read a little bit here where I've highlighted. The truth has always been that Pochettino remains the best alternative if Solskjaer fails, and the Argentine would love the job. The question is whether the 47-year-old Solskjaer is failing. Based on the last 2 games against Istanbul, Başakşehir and Arsenal, yes, but based on the previous 2 Champions League and previous 2 in the Champions League, a 2-1 win over Paris Saint-Germain and a 5-0 destruction of RB Leipzig, he is not. Well, you got to go by the last 2 games, Arsenal and Istanbul. And both games, well, Arsenal, they were poor against Arsenal. They were controlled by Arsenal, lost the midfield battle to El Nani and Partey. They were just, for the longest spells of that game, they were disappointing. Individual players were disappointing. Roy Keane had the right to criticise each and every one of those Man United players. And as he said, he didn't need, at 8 and 9 years old, he didn't need motivated. He didn't need telling what to do. You know, he knew exactly what to do. He knew what position he was playing. And he goes on to say, when you're playing for Manchester United, you need to roll your sleeve up and be prepared for a battle. And he said that he doesn't see one of those players, he doesn't see a single Man United player doing just that. And this is why Scholes and Roy Keane, 2 ex-Man United players notably, and Evra, very, very critical of Manchester United. And Roy Keane basically said it without having to actually say it, the words itself, that with these players that Solskjaer is depending on, they'll get him the sack. And he could be tomorrow lunchtime where a defeat will be his final game for sure. And I'm going to highlight here. I'm going to read them a little bit here. Another bright new dawn before it proves a false one. Another corner turn before ending up back at square one. But former Tottenham boss Posh is the answer apparently. He has never lifted a trophy as a manager and won just 7 of his last 26 games in charge at Spurs before being replaced by Mourinho. The bloke United sacked before Ollie, the 48-year-old RG, has not had a job for 2 weeks short of a year now. Then he pops up on Sky this week and says he's ready to go. Well, he's had nearly a year out. And normally it takes 6 months for a manager to... Sometimes it goes by 6 months. You know, sometimes you as a manager may need 6 months to recuperate, to refresh, and analyse what you need to do and what you could have done better. So if Pochettino feels that he's ready, then yeah, wish him all the best. However, him going to United now, that's a bigger cry from... That's a bigger knock, a bigger task on his hand, on his shoulders. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur, in 5 years, he won nothing. I mean, he's got to hit the ground running as soon as possible. There is no room for error, no room for margin of error. He has to hit the ground as soon as possible. Getting results is one thing. Bringing home a trophy is another. And Manchester United want major trophies. You know, I'm not saying it's a quick fix thing, but it's a case of it's a case of the board wanting to hit the ground running. And for me, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, it's a case of they sack Solskjaer on Saturday. They lose to Everton. The following week, or let's say 72 hours later, they appoint Mauricio Pochettino. Now, Pochettino have inherited a very good squad of players, of talented players. Maybe he'll bring in the players that he feels that will strengthen the team. And plus, he's going to have to build another. And plus, he might not have too much building to do. When you look at the Man United squad, truthfully, they have got some top class players. Pogba is a world class performer on his day. He's just not consistent. He just doesn't put in the consistent performances that is required of a Manchester United player. I mean, the Freds, the McTominay, time will tell. Well, McTominay, time will tell whether he is the answer on the long term. And Fred, he's not exactly a fan's favourite without the fans being there. You know, Bruno Fernandes, that's a player that Pochettino's got to get the best out of, and I believe he could just do that because he had the best out of Dele Alli, and I think he can do the same with Bruno Fernandes. All right, he won 7 out of his last 26 games. He did, and he did take Tottenham to the Champions League final, but you know what they say, nobody talks about the losers. They always talk about the winners. So no one gives a toss about the losers. This is Manchester United, one of the world's most glamorous clubs. And I'll tell you something, he will have a bigger weight on his shoulders. Massively bigger weight on his shoulders. A lot heavier than Tottenham Hotspur. Yes. He's managed at that beautiful, that fantastic stadium, and it is a fantastic stadium. But you've got to get the ground running, unless he could be the manager to convince Harry Kane to come play for him again. But with Manchester United, could he be the Manchester United manager that brings Heung-min Son to the club, offer him a lot more than 200,000 a week? You know, these are questions that got to be asked. However, it's a big game for Manchester United, and by far the biggest pressure game of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure at Manchester United. I don't know what wheel he's on, but it's not the winning wheel. Let's put it that way. Right, turning over, I'm going to talk a little bit about Southampton here. Spare with me. Right. Summit Special, Osman Hill's 88 pace setters. This is written by a gentleman called Duncan Wright. And I'm going to read a little bit here. The last time Southampton sat at the top of the English football, they had a wild squad who loved to party as hard as they played. Wow. Any Southampton fans remember the days of 88 and beyond, and having a squad with a guy in the name of Osman and Rod Wallace? I mean, I had no idea that Southampton even had a drinking culture. You know, in those times, I would have associated that with Man United and Arsenal, especially Arsenal. Although, I was once told by a friend that Paul McGrath used to play for Manchester United while he was pissed. Wow. Those were the days. You know, you will never get those days no more. I don't think you'll ever see a professional footballer in the modern day era of the Premier League playing while he was pissed. I wouldn't think it. Anyway, right, reading on. And there are sure to be more boisterous scenes on the south coast tonight should the Saints see off Newcastle and go marching to the top flight summit. Well, they're 1-0 up at the moment. Che Adams with a goal. He's starting to settle in his stride a little bit. So well done to him. Just like the boys back in 1988. Russell Osman was one of a number of huge characters in that dressing room, along with Mancap keeper John Berridge and three-time European Cup winner Jimmy Case. Southampton fans, you may have a lot to say about this football team in 1988. Jimmy Case, a European Cup winner. You remember him. You remember Russell Osman and Rod Wallace. And you do remember being top of the old First Division. What was it, in 1988, September the 10th? That was. So if you feel that you've got some good memories to talk to me about, I mean, I was born in 81, so I would vaguely remember what Southampton were like in a dressing room. And it's the first time I've heard about Southampton having a drinking culture in a dressing room. Wild parties, but well managed by a very good manager at the time. If you feel like you want to have a chat, then leave it in the comment section below. And Man United fans, how confident are you to getting a result against Everton? Or would you rather lose the match against Everton if it means Solskjaer gets a sack? It's an Arsenal thing, isn't it? I remember we wanted to lose matches just to get a couple of management the sack. And yeah, it worked a treat. Because look at us now. I can't say that we've got one of the worst defence in the Premier League. It's been said that we've got the best defence in the Premier League. Anyway, Man United fans, you're more than welcome to drop your views in my comment section below. Keep it clean, please. Anyway, reading on. Former England ace Osman remembers those days fondly with boss Chris Nicholl trying to keep control of a bunch who enjoyed their off-field activities as much as on the field. The ex-defender, 61, said it was good fun, a good time, good players who got on and did the job well, and Chris managed us well. I wouldn't say it was the easiest team to manage in them days. Pretty wild at times. There was a drinking culture, of course. Jimmy Case was a great player, and Chris Nicholl managed him in the right way because he could be a bit wild at times. Wow. Let it all out, eh? But first and foremost, they were a group of good football players. Chris was quite a demanding manager, but if he pulled your weight, he would be fair to you, which is fair enough. Can't complain there. Everything was dependent on the results. So if the results were good, everything in terms of control was pretty easy. You never went into games worried so much about the opposition. It was a case of knowing that if your 11 played better than the opposition 11, then you had a good game. You had a good chance of winning the game. The old pros in the squad were offset by some prodigious young talent, with Rodney Wallace and Matt Letizia making their first blistering impressions in the professional game. Wallace was playing alongside brother Danny and Ray in the first team. Letizia was emerging, and Alan Shearer joined the party later in that 89 campaign. Saints thrashed West Ham 4-0 on the opening day, before following it up with victories over QPR and Luton to hit top spot in the old First Division. Wow. And Osman went on to say that it was a bit of a transitional time because he had only just joined from Leicester. Wow. Those times were lovely. I'm going to read the last bit here. Where can I start? Yeah. The Dell was always a great place to play. That atmosphere with the crowd being right on top of you. They suffered when they first went to St Mary's, but they seem to have gotten over that. I think they have still managed to keep the core of the club pretty much the same. They had, they have the same values and still have a lot of people involved with the club. It's always great to keep the tradition of the club as much as you can, especially when you move to grounds. I, as an Arsenal fan, will know all about it. Once going to Highbury to watch Arsenal against Schalke 04, which we won 3-2, and going to the Emirates, it's a massive difference. It would be nice to bring more glory into the Emirates and have a better memory of it in the next 10 years. I mean, wow, what a experience there. So, yeah, I mean, I read even that it took Southampton some time to get used to the new stadium, and there were some serious teething problems, Groundhog Days, but eventually they grew into it and they started to love St Mary's. I've seen my beloved Arsenal get a 4-0 thumping, and rightfully so, because we were that piss poor. However, Southampton are doing their thing at the moment. They've been on fine form. They've been fantastic at the start of this season, and it'll be lovely for them to win this game, go top of the league, and get a nice little feel. But it all matters in May. That's all I have to say. So, Southampton fans, how pleased are you with Ralph Hasenhüttl? Sorry if I've pronounced his name incorrect, then I do apologise. And tell me how good of a job he's doing. I would love to hear it in my comment section below. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this up and say, football fans, ladies to the gentlemen, to the boys to the girls, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for putting up with me. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow morning. If not, I'll be doing my match day preview for the Arsenal Aston Villa game for tomorrow morning. If not tomorrow morning, definitely tomorrow afternoon. And like I always say, if you want to have a chat, if you've got any opinions, if you've got something to say on my context, then leave it in the comment section below. Smash the thumbs up, like button, and remember, please do subscribe to my channel, left, right, and centre. Smash that subscribe button for me, hard, passionately, and gloriously. I want to see that subscribe number go up. I did say 100 subscribers for me, or if not over 100 subscribers before Christmas. Other than that, I'm near 60. So, yeah, if you were watching this video tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, yeah, as I would say, like, comment, and subscribe. Always, please. Another 941 subscribers, and then I can do big streams with you guys. Well, again, it's peace again, love again, and bless again. Good night, and do rest well. Nice.